Hello, mate. I'm assuming you got the notification bell. Well, this was partly just to test it anyway, because I've just posted a link to the stream on urban astronomy. So just in case, just to let everyone know. I'm just doing it because I've got some clear skies. It's only a little bit breezy, and I just wanted to satisfy the cravings. I'm starting to get the shakes and the withdrawal symptoms. That's Mercury on screen at the moment, and you can see the wind effects at the moment. It's breezy with the occasional stronger gusts. AWW. I forgot what you said your nickname was. It don't matter, mate. It's just a stream just to satisfy the cravings. I'm getting the withdrawal symptoms, so I thought I needed to look. My fault. Um, been playing a few games on computer and not charged the battery up. Yeah, at the moment over here it's clearish. There's quite a few clouds. I think the best way of describing the sky I'm looking at is the starting trailer for The Simpsons. That sort of a sky. Yep, I'm using OBS on here. In fact, if I bring it over, you can actually see. You'll get the video echo effect. I'll just show you for a second before it goes gaga. There you go. OBS. It's called a video echo. Yeah, I'll get rid of that for you. Oh, and look, we've just got a cloud bombed us. Don't you just love it when that happens? I've got a studio mic, but I'm just too lazy to set it up at the minute. I play a lot of Elite Dangerous, and the headset gets used a lot on that. And the battery never seems to last very long if I don't keep it on charge. I suppose what I might do, because I've got next weekend off. I'm going to do a laser collimation of the scope, and then I might set the microphone up if it's looking like being clear for another stream. So I'll set a different microphone up for next time. I've had a lot of outlays over the last couple of days, so the webcam I was going to buy for the face cam, I was going to have a face cam in bottom corner somewhere, it's been put on hold. I tried having a look at the moon earlier on, but as you can see, the moon is 100% black or 0% illuminated. I just looked for the crescent there, but I couldn't see it. And just there, Vesta is a dwarf planet passing by. So all within a few degrees. If I can move this out of the way and close that, we've got Venus, Mercury, Moon, and Vesta. Even the Crab Nebula's in here. So if you had a super wide field camera and get all those in, it'd be pretty awesome. What's Vesta illuminated at? 8.2. No chance of getting it in this light. And the Moon, minus 6.72, even though it's invisible to my camera at the moment. So I think one evening we'll do a couple of the dwarf planets, because if you look how fast it's moving, zoom in, and we set let me just centralize. Right, if you see the grid moving, that's how fast it's actually moving. If I take centralize off, from that line to that line is half a degree, and we should be able to pick that up on 15-second exposures with 15-second delay, so we should get to like a stop frame animation effect. And there's quite a few dwarf planets that we can pick up from my location. Yeah, Crab Nebula looks tempting this evening, if the wind drops. But it's not going to be any use unless it gets pretty dark, and it's not forecast any darkness for a while. Not proper darkness anyway. Let me just have a look at the forecast for the near future. Get out of the way. Right, this is the forecast for this evening for my location. Between 7 o'clock and 9 o'clock. The wind's between, it starts at 10, it's at 12 at the minute, that's why I'm struggling. It should be dropping down quite a lot. So, but it doesn't start getting dark till about 11 o'clock. So I don't think there'll be much deep sky stuff. Just going to be a case of having a look at what's out there and just catching what we can. And later on in the week, I've got Wednesday off, so Wednesday might be an opportunity. And I've got the whole weekend off, Saturday and Sunday. But it's not looking brilliant for Saturday and Sunday according to this forecast. Right, let's get it out of the way and have a look back at what Venus is doing. See if we can tweak the settings a little bit. I was going to have a revisit on some of the data we got last time and restack. No, there's not much dark, not for a while yet. It's going to take a while for the dark. It's going to be late August before we start getting proper dark skies again, and then we can start looking at some of the more challenging objects. I'd like to do one target per evening. Just concentrate a whole evening on one particular target, get a lot of exposures. It could be quite boring watching 20 exposures in red, green, blue, luminance, because you don't see a lot happening. It's the manipulation, stacking and tweaking of the final image that the magic happens. But if you wanted to join in on the boring evenings on something like that, I'll be quite happy to do that. It make a bit of a change from all the target hopping. It's like channel flicking, as some people call it. It's so easy. It's like flicking between channels when you're bored, flicking from target to target. But I'm only doing this because I'm bored. Oh look, and here come the clouds again. Moving quite fast, so unless it's a big one, it shouldn't take too long to pass. Were you thinking of doing some streaming from your end, shots, and setting up using OBS? Yeah, it does. It does take quite a bit of setting up time. Do you have an obsi, or do you have to set your scope up every time you need to use it? Yeah, tell me about it. I'm lucky now. Zoe, she'll be 19 in a couple of weeks, and my eldest is 21. She's at university. So mine don't bother me too much. In fact, they help more than the hinder these days, which is super nice. And in July, that's when we're having a bit of a get together. I'm getting all the people that matter around, and we're having a bit of a party to celebrate my 60th birthday, which should be fun. I'll show you. I'll show you the view from the other camera on the smaller scope compared to this one. You've not seen that yet. Move that out of the way. Yeah, where Mercury is up this top corner here. Mid upper left. At centre for the main scope. I need to make some adjustments so they're both central on the view, but I don't have a problem with it. As long as I know it appears somewhere just here to be in centre, I'm quite happy. And this is a bit easier to tweak on here as well. £12, 12 kids. Wow, happy families. Let's tweak that up a little bit. Move that out. What sort of cameras do you have for your kit? Or is yours just set up for observing? Just realised I've not got the server running. Oh, nice. Yeah, I keep toying with the idea of getting a pro cooled camera, um, but I just like a 250 PDS. Very nice. Yeah, mine's a 300 PDS, but mine's on just on NEQ Pro. So very nice mount that is. Very sturdy and very solid. Is the 250 PDS, is that 1200 millimeter focal length? Is that 1200, 1250? Can't remember. 1200, yeah, yeah. Just have a quick hop over back to Mercury. I'm getting bored. Here we go. Yeah, the 300 that I'm using at the moment, 300 PDS, that's 1500 millimeter focal length. But I've got a 3 power Barlow on at the moment, so that's effectively 4500 millimeter on that. And even the most slightest bit of breeze blows it all over the place. So it's got to be virtually a static evening to get any decent imaging out of it. That's why I've had a tendency just to target hop. Yeah, not many, not many. A sail's an understatement. I mean, I'm looking outside now, and the leaves are just barely rustling, and I've got a great fat pigeon in the tree next to me, just sort of looking if it can come down and land on my shed that's roof's open. Trouble is, I can't get a better focus at the moment because A, there's a lot of heat thermals coming off the roofs. The breeze is knocking the scope around too much, so it's not worth doing imaging. It's just visual, just to have something on screen and something in the background while we talk. Let's go and see if we can find the moon. See if we can pick the moon out of the background, even though it's in stealth mode. Let's see if we can see anything of that. Bring that up. And to be honest, I'm not. I know you can. I think I might have seen something just go by then. I know you can overexpose just to pull it out the background. You can hear it in the background. This microphone's picking that up, is it? Oh dear. No, I can't pull anything of the moon out. I know we're accurately on the moon. but the sky glows too much to pierce through it to drag it out to the background. Let's have a look what else is nearby that we might be able to pick up. What's that one? Oh no, 1.65. Let's hop from Mercury and then go over there. Pop that one across out of the way so we can see Mercury appear. Lo and behold, Mercury. Right. Mercury's at minus 0.44, and that's how bright it is. Let's see if we can just tweak the focus a tiny bit. Leave it at that. That's about as good as I've had it. And Elneth is 1.65. I suspect it might be a little bit too faint to pick up, but hey ho, let's have a look. Hey, there it is. That's a 1.65 target in bright sunshiny afternoon. Let me just sync on that for accuracy. Right. What else is out there that might be worth having a look at? So we don't want to go less than 1.65. Nope. What's that one there? That's below the horizon for most of that. Now a lot of this stuff in here is going to be way too faint to pick up. Yes, I do. I've got Stellarium and this one linked together. If I show you there's my latitude, longitude there. If I bring this up, those two tie together. So in theory, they should both be looking at the same thing when the scope slews, and it's really easy to set up. I prefer this one because it's more visual than Cartes de Ciel, and it's a lot nicer to handle as well. That and I've got a duplicate, excuse me, a duplicate of everything that we're using this evening on a laptop. So if I go camping or to a dark site or a star party, I can do everything, including stream, I suppose, on a laptop. It's a Core i7 6700H with 16 gigabytes of RAM and 4.5 terabytes of storage, and I modified it myself rather than having a standard drive, and it boots up off an M.2. So it's quite a potent little portable setup. Right, let's go back to look what's just nearby. Just dropping below my horizons, but I don't think this camera will pick it up. What do you reckon? Yeah, I reckon we should go over and have a look. You can't just have that on screen and not go in at, just for the sake of arguments, just go and have a look, eh? It's a bit early. It's only 25 past 6 in the afternoon. Right, we've landed on it. Yeah, you have to make sure your lat long's synchronised, otherwise your go-tos are way, way, way out. Right, move that out of the way. Well, somewhere in that blue, I'd never thought we'd get it. It's just too faint, even for the mono camera. Somewhere in that blue is Comet Y4. So we did go and have a look. Let's see if we can see Capella. That might be a little bit out on the go-to. Oops, that was Capella, you just saw flying by. And let's see if we can drag it back into screen. There we go, Capella. The starburst effect is what you get when there's a lot of thermals going off and there's a lot of distortion in the atmosphere. So unfortunately there's not really a lot, I'll just think on that I can do about it. It's one of those things that if I'm just playing, I'm not really doing anything serious. I'm just doing syncing on that. There we go. I'm just getting bored, so I switched everything on just to see if I could actually find anything. And let's go back to Venus. Just testing the go-to, of course. There you go. Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. Just nice to have a regular crew coming on to join me. And like I say, I was only bored. I just wanted to see everything was working, and partly to test that the notification bell worked for you. Right, I'll catch you again next time. Look forward to seeing you. I'm just going to be flicking between Mercury and Venus till it gets to about 30 degrees on my horizon, and then I'll probably call it a night. I don't think it's going to get dark enough to do anything serious, so you're not going to be missing much. And I look forward to you catching up again on channel. I've got a Facebook notification. Who's attacking me now? Meme time. It's always a good time for a meme, isn't it, on Facebook? Right, I'm going to bring Stellarium across and let's have a look, see if there's anything bright enough for us to go and have a look at. We've already looked at Capella, managed to find that. Mercury, Venus, Elnath. Betelgeuse is a little bit low. Procyon, that's just a star. I'm trying to find something that might be interesting. And we went over to have a look at Y4 Atlas, but it's just not dark enough to pick that up. Pleiades, too low, and it's too close to the sun to be picking anything up on that side of things. Right, what's up the other side of the sky? Beehive cluster. There's nothing else really worth going and have a look at. See, that's magnitude 3, so I very much doubt we'd pick anything of that up. Right, I'll bring that across. Right, I think we've looked at Venus and Mercury enough. I'll just go back one more time to Mercury, just because we can. It's not the best of viewing conditions, but it's what it says on the description. Just looking at Venus and Mercury. As I said earlier, the scope is a 300mm Skywatcher PDS, focal length of 1500mm, and I'm also using a 3 times Barlow, so it just multiplies the focal range from 1500 to 4500mm. The F ratio is about 4.9, but with the Barlow it triples that to about 13.5, 14, so it's F14 at the moment, but it's still managing to pull the Mercury out the background, and it is still in direct sunlight. We are still in direct sunlight with the observatory, so even in direct sunlight we can still look at things up there in the skies. I might do a obsi tour, get a mobile camera and show you around the observatory, the power supplies, the mount, the pier, the roof mechanism, the connections and everything. Just show you what it's like, what's inside the little green shed on the garden. See if anybody's interested in that. focusing. There's not much to focus on at the moment. If the wind was pretty calm, I'd have a go at imaging and do what we did last time. Just stack and see if we can make a solid image. But for now, just a little bit of luck until everything settles down. I think I'll shoot back to Venus for 5 more minutes or a few more minutes, and I might just call it an evening at that, because there's not a lot. There we go. Not a lot going off. This was just to fill in a bit of time. If it's a little bit better tomorrow, I do have a power mate, and it's a sort of a higher quality Barlow, but it's a 5 times. So that will put the focal length up to 7,500 millimeters, but the scope shake would be really bad. But like I say, if the wind drops and the air's still, it might be worth giving that one a try. But 7,500 millimeters on Venus might be worth trying to capture a few frames, see if we can get an image out of it. We'll have a look for next time the conditions are favourable, and we'll try that. But anyway, thanks for dropping by, everybody. I didn't expect to be doing anything this evening because the conditions aren't what you'd call favourable in the slightest. It's too windy, too warm, and just not going to work for us. We have seen Venus, we have seen Mercury, Capella and a few others, but that's about as much as we can get in the sunlight of today. My name's Angie, and if you like what you see, please subscribe, hit that bell for the next time I come live. And for now, I'm going to call an end to the stream. Have a nice evening, and keep an eye out for the next time I go live. Have a nice evening, everyone.